Mars Exploration and Rover Mission by Maeve Gaynor, Paige Brent, and Emma Helens. Exploration of Mars is our technology-advanced future, which requires not just preparation for NASA, but also for people around the world. NASA is working towards exploring the geographic conditions of Mars to determine viability of human life on the planet. The exploration of Mars is a very big achievement for NASA and our country. Because NASA is a government-funded agency, the government will help with expenses to advance the research and technology. For this to be possible, people around the world will have to support this exploration of Mars. The theme taking a stand in history could be considered winning wars or gaining independence, but exploring a whole new planet in our galaxy surely is taking a stand in not only history but the future. Mars is the fourth planet from the Sun and is the second smallest planet in our solar system. Named after the Roman god of war, Mars is also often described as the red planet due to its reddish appearance. Mars is a terrestrial planet with a thin atmosphere composed primarily of carbon dioxide. The colonization of Mars by humans is an ongoing debate among scientists. Some scientists believe it would be best to explore and colonize the planet Mars. Frozen groundwater on the planet of Mars makes it the best choice for a thriving colony off the Earth. There are many advantages of doing this, but there are also many challenges we will have to undergo in order to do this. According to a recent article from NASA, scientists speculate that the conditions are suitable for life to exist right beneath Mars' surface. Mars is also one of the most explored planets in our solar system, therefore making it easier to receive information and further our knowledge. Empty land found on the planet was once an active place where volcanoes erupted, meteors crashed, creating deep craters, and flash floods rushed over the land. British doctor Alexander Coomer spoke in a 2012 article for BBC News, stating the pros and cons of going to Mars. He says, "Only by pushing mankind to its limits, to the bottoms of the ocean and into space, will we make discoveries in science and technology that can be adapted to improve life on Earth." In another interview, Mike Tyson explained that if humans do not go to Mars, someone else will, and that spells political and economic belief for whoever succeeds. If you lose your space edge, my deep concern is that you lose everything else about society that enables you to compete economically. On the other hand, more concerns have arisen about making the long trip to Mars. According to a recent article, the planet's atmospheric pressure is so low that no human could survive living there without proper space gear. The pressure on Mars is so low that oxygen in the human blood would turn to bubbles, causing immediate death. In addition, Mars temperatures can drop to an astounding negative 80 degrees Fahrenheit on average. Furthermore, as the Mars 2020 rover moves into its next phase of research, officials say the mission will cost $2.1 billion, more than estimated for a mission that they argue will also be more capable than first planned.
Even though our highly trained astronauts are qualified to explore Mars, we can't do this alone. NASA has sent a series of rovers to Mars over the decade to help us with collecting thorough information, expanding our knowledge. Many more rovers have been sent to space, but only around 33% of missions have been a success. One rover that successfully landed on Mars is named Curiosity. The rover landed in Mars in 2011 and continues to explore today. Curiosity's size allows it to carry a large amount of scientific experiments to zap, analyze, and take pictures of any rock within its 7-foot arm. Engineers at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory designed the rover to roll over obstacles up to 25 inches high and travel about 660 feet per day.
The rover's power comes from a multi-mission radioisotope thermoelectric generator, which produces electricity from the heat of plutonium-238's radioactive decay.
Curiosity's prime mission is to determine if Mars is or was suitable for life. While it is not designed to find life itself, the rover carries a number of instruments on board that can bring back information about the surrounding environment. Powder from one of the first drill samples that Curiosity obtained included the elements sulfur, nitrogen, hydrogen, oxygen, phosphorus, and carbon, which are all considered building blocks or fundamental elements that could support life. A fundamental question for this mission is whether Mars could have supported a habitable environment, Michael Mayer said, the lead scientist for NASA's Mars Exploration Program. From what we know, the answer is yes. Curiosity continues to explore the planet and gather new data. According to the scientists, the Mars rover has exceeded their expectations and done what they thought was truly impossible.
Nothing has stopped our nation from reaching beyond the limits. If we can move people across the world, then it is far from impossible to make the long journey to Mars. One of NASA's main missions, called Mars One, is looking into how we can colonize and expand life on Earth to the red planet. In doing this, we would gain economic and political power, as well as achieving the natural human desire to explore. Human settlement of Mars is the next giant leap for humankind. Exploring space as a united humanity will bring us all closer together. Mars is the major stepping stone of the human race on its voyage to the universe. Human settlement on Mars will aid our understanding of the origins of the solar systems, the origins of life, and our place in the universe. As with the Apollo moon landings, a human mission to Mars may inspire generations to believe that all things are possible and anything can be achieved if you put your mind and hard work into it. NASA is building a powerful rocket called the Space Launch System, or SLS, that will carry its new Orion spacecraft into deep space. When we arrive at Mars, it is crucial to settle right away. Otherwise, living conditions will become dangerous. The structure of the house will be kept warm by hot water stored underground and pumped through the walls like insulation. Each house will be furnished with a garden to provide for the food supply. The house's water supply will be stored above the heater to keep the water sterilized. The houses will be built to survive Mars' harsh dust storms. To create the most room possible, they will be shaped like honeycombs. In order for people to adapt to Mars conditions, genetic engineering will be provided. According to Universe Today, genetic engineering will help the future generations by adapting to the low gravity, higher radiation, and low air pressure. From there on, we start building our empire on the red planet, taking everything by storm. Our nation has explored more than imaginable. From Christopher Columbus to George Washington, exploring from new heights has made the United States rise above all others. Going to Mars is not only taking a stand in history, but it allows the United States to gain political and economic power as well. Just think, in a few years, you could be living and thriving on a different planet.